I would never tell anybody to leave what they love. But if you don't love it and you're just doing it to pass time by because they said do it, I am telling you to find something that you love. Your passion will bring you a paycheck. So when I say AI, I'm not talking about just Siri, turn the music on. I'm not talking about just, cool home gadgets and all that. I believe AI will be used to fundamentally rethink how we solve our problems today. And I was reading an article where I got this information. I was like, this is, interesting. It's good in a way because I know some people are not, for technology. It's good because it is something that is going to enhance a lot of the problems, but it also replaces the human connection. And that's why you have social media. And that's why they want you to be social first. Okay. And so I think it's important that we keep that human connection. We laugh together, we play together, we dance together. I think all that's still important. But I also think we should utilize what's available. Okay, so I suggest you get the facts about what's available for you. Therefore, you can make informed decisions and you can start creating today A, B, C, D, and E. Not just you just have one plan and that's it. Stop relying on somebody else when we should be relying on ourselves. And so my lesson today was to tell you steps to self-reliance. Write that down. Here are the steps for self-reliance. And I'll share my screen in a minute. If you're on Facebook, you'll be able to see my screen. And so self-reliance, number one, I need you to assume responsibility. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can share my screen on Facebook. Write that down. Pretty person gonna put this in the chat for me. Pretty person gonna put this in the chat. All right, let me share my screen on the book face. Hey, book face. Book face is going to get to see my screen. It's just the tips that I'm about to share with you right now. So, don't freak out on me. You're good. All right. So the book face can see my tips on self-reliance. You got that? Can you see that? Facebook? Yes, Teresa. I can see it. Okay, great. Assume responsibility. No one owes you anything. You are totally responsible if you plan to have happiness and success in life. If you fail, to plan something, that's your fault. You set your stage for creating a miserable life. If you stop planning, no one's going to plan for you. My mom's not going to plan for me. My dad not going to plan for me. It's up to Jerusha, right? Yes, that's number one. Number two, the steps that you need to take is be informed. Number two, I need you to read. The information I'm sharing with you today, I read that information and I said, let me share what I know for sure. Read, listen. I listen to so many podcasts, motivation. I want to know what's happening for my future and the future of my boys. And so when I learn something, I share it. Your options for lifelong learning are endless. Jerusha. We can learn something new every day. The internet is the most powerful tool for learning ever invented. Google it. It's now a little thing in my house. When my boys ask, I'm like, did you Google it? Let's just Google it. That's what we're going to do. They need to learn something every day. We need to learn something every day. Okay. You design your own passion-driven learning curriculum. No one can stop me from learning. That's why, if you've heard me speak before, I said, knowledge is the new rich. Knowledge. People pay for knowledge, like the 3-day ride business course. People pay to know, right? And they want to learn faster. So I want to shorten your learning curve. So I created the 3-day ride. The same thing with this training today. I want to shorten your learning curve. So I show up every Tuesday at 1:30. So help is available, but you got to what? Put it into action and prepare yourself to ride that technology wave that will power the next generation. I'm excited for my son's next generation. Your job is not enough. You must be open to change. And I'm so glad when I decided I wanted to leave corporate America, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I know that wasn't it, right? And I was just like, all right, the first person that spoke to me about direct sales, I was like, all right, what do I need to do? I didn't question it. I didn't go ask those people. I didn't. I decided, let me pray about it. Okay, this is what we're going to do. The end. The average person today will have 3 to 5 careers over the course of their lifetime. That's a lot. Why do you think that is? Like people stay, 5-7 years and quit and find something else? Why do you think that is? Put in the chat. Why do you think that is? Why do you think in our lifetime we're going to change careers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times? Why do you think that is? Do you think that's set up like it's a system? Because I don't really want you to retire here. So the company that I used to work for, they don't actually want you to get to retirement. So they offer you a severance, right? There's like, all right, you too close. You're 20 years. I can't get you to 25 or 30 because then I'm going to have to pay you more money. So I'm going to get you right here 15, 20 years. I'm going to offer you some money that probably can only take care of you for 6 months. And then you got to go find another job. Yes or yes? Am I telling the truth or am I lying? Okay. Know where you're going. And the third thing that I can tell you about self-reliance is make your own decisions. Make your own decision. Now, a pretty person, put those 3 tips in the chat for me. Now, a pretty person on Facebook like, Jerusha, I got you. And you typing it in the chat for me, I appreciate you. If you're on Instagram, do the same thing. TikTok, let's go. Okay. This is the thing. Make your own decision. And especially if you're not happy, you don't have to do what they said. Everybody did it. Somebody told you this was the way to go. What is it that you're saying to yourself? Okay, if we're going to be honest, let's be honest. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen over here. Let's be honest. Most people work just hard enough not to get fired. Can we all agree on that? Yes or yes? Most people work just hard enough not to get fired. Yes? And get paid just enough not to quit. I'm going to pay you just enough to come back on Monday. And I know that you're going to have to keep coming because you need this. You're relying on this when it should be self-reliance. You can decide right now to change the trajectory of your life. It's just a decision and then act on it. Action determines the rest, right? Actions determine the rest. The best way to predict your future is to create it. And I'm telling you, I'm just like you. I cry, I plead, I pray. I am just like you. But I know there's greater. I know there's more. And so once you know something, you can't ever go back. Once your mind is expanded, it can never go back to smaller dimensions. You better write that down. So one day I was driving to work when I worked in Atlanta, traffic, and I had a traditional 9 to 5, earning my 2-week paycheck, taking an hour lunch break and going back and forth, repeating that cycle. And I was thinking, one day I'm going to do this for 40 years. I'm going to do this for 40 years. And I thought, I don't know about this. I don't know. I signed up for it. I have the degrees for it. I'm good at it. I don't know about this. Anybody like that? If you are like that, you're like, you know what? I've been feeling like that. I was not happy. And so when I'm not happy, this is not going to work out. I was not happy, and I'm a daddy's girl. So what I do, I call my dad, and I'm just like, I'm not happy. I'm crying. I'm just not happy. Like I think you can say the world, I'm not happy. And so do you know what my dad said to me? First, he always tell me, you're going to be pitiful or powerful, but you're not going to be both. He always tells me that. Which one? Baby girl, which one you going to be? Pitiful or powerful, but not both. But this particular day, he said, baby girl, you are a racehorse, and you've allowed them to put you in a pony show. I'm a racehorse, and I allowed other people to put me in a pony show. I got to show up every day like this racehorse that I am. Every single day, I got to make sure I'm preparing to win my race of life, because we're all in a race. Whether you play or not, you're in the race. You woke up this morning, you're in the race. And what I will tell you, what I've learned in these experiences that I've had in being an entrepreneur, up and down, excited, sad, mad, crying, all the things that you can imagine, I still wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be here live with you today. I wouldn't change anything. But the one thing I'm not going to do, and what I advise you to do, is don't let other people's success or failure determine what you're going to do. God told you what it was. It's already in you. Everything that you want is already in reach. You already can see it. Now you actually have to do it. And I know it sounds easy. Everybody say do it. No, just like this, I gave you several tips today. I share motivation, inspiration, business tips all the time. There are other speakers, influencers, anybody that's in your upline, whatever. There's help for you. There's Google every day. There's YouTube. It is help for you. You have to decide it's important enough. You have to decide that. When someone tells me they didn't have time, when someone tells me, I'm like, it wasn't that important. because you make time for what's important to you. Just like you make time for your significant other, you make time for your children, you make time for your parents, you make time for the cookout, you make time for television, you make time. You do. It's important to you. People do what's important to them. Say, Jerusha said, I do what's important to me. Now, when your business or your book or your nonprofit or whatever is important to you, you will do it every day. Period. Yes or yes. So if this was valuable for you, I didn't mean to get you good today, but sometimes it's just in me. So if you got value today, if you learned something today, like Jerusha, you talking to me today, tag 2 people, share the broadcast. Like I said, we don't want our girlfriends to miss all this goodness, right? We want to make sure we're growing. That's how we win. Hashtag to the pretty people. That's what we're about. And so make sure that you share the broadcast so we can reach more people. Because sometimes most people just need to be inspired to act. That's it. A lot of times you just need to hear the right voice at the right time. And you get inspired and you change the world in your own little way. Yes or yes. And so if this was good, say Jerusha, give me some hearts, hashtag pretty people in the chat. If you know you're ready for your next level online, jump in the 3-day ride. Yes, jump in my 3-day ride. I'm passionate about that 3-day ride. I know I deliver. I know it's worth $13.97, but it's not. I want it to be affordable because I want everybody to be able to get in there, right? And then I have a program. If you have 10 or more people, then you get in the program for free. So talk to me about it. Let's get you set up to win. You got to get on your mark, get set, go. You got to be in position to win. If you're not even practicing, you're not even learning the skills, how are you going to win in this technology world? How are you going to win?